All right, Paul Lapis here with Remax Hallmark here in Toronto, and I'm back with another market update for this month. And today we're looking at the December numbers. So, as expected, December is a slower time for the year. We got holiday planning, New Year's planning, people kind of check out. So, overall activity was down. Now, sales are pretty much at the floor of where they've been for the last, 4 or 5 months, and they ended in December at 3,400, which is still above last year's actually. So this was a busier December than last year in terms of sales. And then the sales over asking. So how many properties across the board, for whether it's condo, houses, or properties in the suburbs, those are all about 10 to 20% of those properties were going over asking that did sell. The biggest change I noticed in December was actually the number of new listings. So this is number of sellers coming to the market that dropped by 60%, and kind of ended around slightly below our historic average and slightly above last year's number of new listings. So although buyers have been kind of at the floor of where their threshold for the GTA, sellers really plummeted. Now, this had a big impact on the active inventory. So a lot of sellers decided to take their listings off the market, whether terminate and with the possibility of relisting in the new year when they think things are getting better, if they get better. And with the new listings declining, active inventory actually also plummeted by 40%. So for the last few months, I've been kind of watching how inventories climbed, whether it's for condos, for houses in the city. They were steadily climbing in the fall market. That took a nosedive in December, and we're almost at our 10-year average for active inventory. I believe with the talks of potential interest rate drops this year, it's kind of unanimous across the board at this point that there are going to be drops. It's just by how much and by when. Sellers have it in their mind that the market's going to look better this year in terms of maybe not crazy price growth, but have an easier time of selling their property if affordability increases. So with that mindset, I think a lot of sellers just decided to terminate or hold off from listing. So I know even on the ground with the sellers that I'm talking to, they're saying, what's the point of listing right now? We'll give it a month or two and see how things are after maybe some rate announcements from the Bank of Canada. In terms of freehold, city versus the suburbs, both, saw seasonal declines as expected in terms of sales month over month. But again, year over year, this was definitely a busier time of year for the freehold, as we saw sales up 5 to 7% and prices for both 905 and 416, a percent or two above where it was last year. So things are holding steady for the month of December. And for condos, again, condos have been struggling with the amount of inventory on the market. We also saw about a 30 to 40% drop in active listings for condos. Prices are still down from last year, a few percent. I think our average price is sitting at 709. And I think it's probably going to hold there for a few months, as I haven't seen yet a rapid incline of inventory or sellers coming to the market for condos. And the average price for the GTA as a whole held flat. Again, I think the balance of hitting the floor of the buyers plus the drop in sellers helped keep the demand pretty consistent. Keep watching. I'm going to report as we see this market kind of play out. Lots going on in terms of the world economy, what the Bank of Canada is going to do, and I'm going to be reporting every week. So stay tuned.